Alright guys, so today I'm going to show y'all a build I've been working on since League start. 18 days. This is my Legionnaire, Gemling Legionnaire, Shattering Palm. So, we're sitting at 53% armor, 40% evasion, 24% block. It is insane. The block chance technically scales to 25. We have 40% evasion, 53% physical damage reduction, 45% damage reduction against its elemental, so you can get up close with the Shattering Palm, with shotguns with the rest of the build. So, other Shattering Palm builds, I appear to be needing 5. That's fine, that's fine. Now we can take that off. Okay, so this is the first Shattering Palm build using the new mechanic with the frozen mandibles. You need haste aura and then all damage shocks, and periodically unleashes lightning. So basically, what's really cool is whenever you use your Shattering Palm, it procs your Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder, and causes a big explosion, and you can basically flicker strike essentially to enemy packs that all explode. Then you use Wind Dancer to help with your evasion, which also gives you Gale Force, which then gives you more radius for your area of effect of all of your AoE. So it all multiplicative scales together. Then you factor together Hannah Cheulu, give it a little elemental weakness, volatile mark, so that way you have your single target. Bang time effect, definitely. And then the main thing about this whole entire build is really cool, is the surround mechanic. With the skill tree and how surround works, it basically gives you a huge, basically 50% buff to a character in all aspects. It is insane. We just have to use sacrifice skill nodes. So there's a couple ways to play the build. So first off, how I have my build set up, it's pretty much DPS scaled, and then on my tree, it's basically, I will show you. Also tanky scaled, trying to maximize survivability. So all these nodes from here to here, and you don't really need necessarily. They can always go into over here where you get maim, 25% increased attack. Anything over here gives you critical hit chance. Extremely necessary. Once I'm at 100, I'm at 96 right now. Once I get to 100, I plan to grab these other critical hit chances. Really need them. These two, debatable, but this one, debatable also, but yeah, it's pretty good. Really scales the DPS. There's a couple of things I do differently. These two I add. I have my weapon swap mechanics over here. Basically, whenever I do Hanashilu, however you pronounce it, so that way whenever I do my single target attack and swap to my main, it doesn't take long. It's just this quick swap, and that all scales together. Days. Now you can run one mechanic and just eliminate this all together. Get 2 nodes and just go to here and get mana leech, because you do heavily run out of mana and you're constantly spamming your mana pots. Now the mana potion and life potions also very much dependent on the build. You definitely need instant recovery and charges gain, the best ones you can. Preferably the one that lets you use whenever you're not max life or mana. So I have 29% recovery applied instantly, and 62% increased charges gain, and increased mana recovered, and moves 15% mana recover from life, which my life regen takes care of all that. And then 50% chance to charge whenever you kill an enemy. So instant, always mana pot, always mana. So that's one thing about this is you don't necessarily need this right here, these 2 nodes, when you have a good mana pot. And you can get one pretty easily, or make one pretty easily. So you have to have all these nodes right here. You're gonna need a good scaled AoE block chance right here. That's a big thing with the build. Very hard to get, I know, but you need block chance. Block chance will scale everything with the build and help it with the staff and everything like that, because you're not using a palm like, you know, most PoE people. We like to have a weapon here. I have Herald efficiency in order to basically use the companion, and then on my amulet I have easygoing enchanted onto it for the other reservation in order to use it, sitting at 8 out of 150. This is my amulet right here. It is a beast in the sheets, +3 gold lightning. Everything is very much balanced. 84, 77, 79, 60, 76. It's right on the bridge right here. Like, that's the thing. It's everything's super much teeter-totter to work perfectly. But I put a lot of work into this. Running at 53% movement speed, which is really fun. It's very nice, very nice. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Get away from a minion. He stays alive in combat though, so don't worry. Yeah. And the thing is, okay, so with the build, there's breakpoints with attack speed. So with my weapon, I have 1.40 attack. You're gonna need Defy and everything, and then basically to try and hit the breakpoint of 1.50 attacks per second, because that will give you the basically instant attack. I'm not having to wait. It's like an instant. It is much needed. And then with the haste, it's even better. Attack speed scales tremendously. You'll notice it whenever you pick up any shrine or anything like that. The more the merrier, but the thing is you have to also factor in survivability, and we're not doing energy shield, trying to abuse the mechanic, we're playing armor evasion. And we are having fun rocking in the faces of the enemies and not getting hit with anything. That's the one cool thing. It's not having to constantly worry about your energy shield and all that. So I have, you know, evasion, rating, and max life. Lightning hit. A lot of everything's about. I have a little bit of leech for physical attack damage, and then that's very useful to recoup. And then on my other ring, I have physical and lightning, very much needed and rarity. And then also 48 life per enemy killed, much needed. Again, just you don't have to have everything like this, just close. You can use a belt like this, charm effect duration, just a res belt, you know, with the armor and max life. And then once you get rings and everything good enough, then you can go up to ingenuity. You know how ingenuities are, look for a good one. 28, 29. That way you can factor in all your reses and everything like that. Gloves. You're gonna try and aim for increased armor breaks, corrupted gloves if you can find some. Something with lightning damage, max life, rarity, fire chaos. Yeah. Try and get something close. You don't have to be exact. I mean, just make do. It's just like I said, a lot of tuning to get to this point. Boots, again, in-game boots right here. 35% move speed, 45% max life, 142 max life, 20% rarity. Fire cold, just try and get the reses, you know what I mean? 25 movement, 30 movement, and all that stuff. 100 max life, 70 max life, no rarity, it doesn't really matter, you don't need all that. Just don't You don't need rarity. Just try and go for the minimums here. Okay, so the biggest thing about the whole entire build also is why I went the armor route. So as you can see on the chest, 40%, 42% armor applies to elemental damage, as you can see. So, what's cool about that? The more of this big ass number right here I scale, the bigger my actual DPS gets. So that's huge for this build. Honestly, to get to that point, like to be able to scale DPS based off of armor. Okay, so I was like, alright, so if we're gonna be able to scale off of armor, let me take away some from my actual, you know, crit and from my, you know, DPS nodes that I had for bonus damage. And let's add it over here. And so that actually tremendously helped quite a bit with the actual elemental damage. As you see, estimated elemental damage, it gives you pretty much 10%, which is not bad. It factors in around everything together to be much better overall. Kind of like everything factored together to be the best of all odds. You know, jack of all trades. That way you can get hit by stuff and not die. We're sitting at 14k health full right now, which is exceeded because we have the block chance that it doesn't factor in. For some reason, the PoE 2 ninja. So, also, when you're in a hideout like this, switch to your other weapon. That way your pet doesn't make your whole entire hideout do this, as you can tell, which isn't fun because it causes stuttering. Anyways, on to the rest of the build. We are going to run stunned, more armor. We're going to go for guard, kill a rare enemy, rarity, because we want to try and hit the 100% breakpoint if you can. That's the main goal with everything. 100% rarity. That's the highest you're going to be able to get with this build to be able to maximize everything. And then on the same thing with this one, just slow with the guard. For that way, if the stun, you don't get stunned ever. You never get knocked down or stunned. It's really nice. What else am I missing here? You know, you have to get 5 fewer enemies to be surrounded. Like I said, you have to get these nodes. You've got to get these nodes. You've got to get these nodes. Once you get these nodes, you have basically all the buffs for the 5% surrounded. The 5 enemies surrounded, and so you're perma surrounded basically, which gives you big buffs. The thing is, once you're able to, you know, try if you're able to get, you know, beat around the spirit thing, to figure out other options and stuff like that, so that way you're able to use your companion, the actual frozen mandibles, without having to sacrifice these 3 nodes and sacrifice your amulet enchantment. The main thing is just getting the spirit with the heralds and your wind dancer for the evasion, because they're all needed for the AoE and everything like that. You're definitely gonna need everything. Just covering all bases here. So for the, you know, we have integrated efficiency, so for all of our gems. Going this route, you know. Yeah, this is the route we went. Quality for everything, which is nice. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. What else are we missing on this build right here? At the moment, there is. You want to make sure you grab this node right here with your weapon set 1. This is really important though. Weapon set 1, make sure you grab all these little nodes, because they all factor into your main DPS. So that way whenever you swap, these ones over here stay swapped and you don't accidentally mix match, because it really does matter. And if you want, you don't have to get everything over here. With the swap, you can go and get more curse stuff. There's some curse things over here with your mark, so that way it gives you more damage with it whenever you do swap. If you want to just and do the attack, then swap back and have more of the curse effect, so that we can kill bosses, single target stuff quicker, you can do that. I just like the efficiency of mapping, just swapping, clearing, hitting a monster, swapping back. Swapping gives you that trinity also, so that's the main purpose of the whole Chelu thing. Gives you that elemental curse and everything for the attack, which we are running for the attack. Volatile mark and elemental weakness. These are just low right now. Of course, you can level them up. It's just for me, just starting out, trying to figure everything out right now. I've been playing around with the frozen mandibles. You want to get one with haste and all damage shocks, and then I got lucky with periodically unleashes lightning. The thing is with this one is I'm trying to figure out some way to get more spirit to factor in a skeletal cleric, so that way I can continuously keep it alive forever. And then if I'm able to do that, I may go the route of just eliminating Trinity. I haven't decided yet. Not necessarily that big of a deal, Trinity, so it'd be kind of cool to have Skeletal Cleric for the Always a Frozen Mandibles up. That's just one route so that we get the infinite Frozens. Other than that, that's just one theory craft I was going for. What's really... Oh, shit. I hate when you do that, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to mess with anything. Everything good? Alright, 53. Alright, yeah, we're good. Cool. Oh, yeah, so whenever you get your main weapon and everything, just, lock it. Then you set your skill points and everything. This is my previous amulet. If you want to go for something like that to start off with before you... Frozen Manual is an in-game thing for your build, for this build particularly. That's the one thing about the Frozen Mandibles. So don't worry about it up until then. So you're fully spirited out with the means to be able to run it. So that's the thing. You have to have it on an amulet. You have to have it over here, and those nodes matter. Every point matters. That's the thing with the build. I'm 96, and man, I wish I get to higher. It just takes time, especially in PoE too. The chest, again, armor applies to elemental damage. I like this route. I mean, to me, it feels good. It's cool stacking armor. It's way different than most people. I can corrupt this and probably hit 3. I just don't want to risk it. I got lucky with armor and evasion plus ratings. Again, you can go all this. You don't have to do armor. You don't have to do that route. You can go LE damage. And then if you go LE damage, you can go energy shield for gloves and body and boots. And then if you do that, then you don't need evasion there. You can go energy shield, not evasion. Energy shield for your gloves, boots, and everything. And then, energy shield. And then you don't need this stuff over here then. You just go and get some energy shield nodes if you wanted to stack that, just like, all the other plebs that are doing. But I prefer having the massive armor evasion block, crazy thing. And again, I'm just swapping weapons to prevent my minion from tearing up my hideout. He tends to do that. Okay, so I know this has been 20 minutes. I know this is a long build. Anything else to factor in with the build? I'll put it in the PoE Ninja in the link in the description. So that way it shows everything. Basically, yeah. The only thing is just you're gonna put your hand of Shelu on your weapon slot 2, and yeah, and then I have it on my middle mouse and for hand of Shelu, and then right click is Shattering Palm, and then I have everything on my mouse essentially for all my attacks. So these two just kind of pretty good single targets for bosses, stuff like that. If a boss is elemental res, so you got Thunder, you got Cold, and then Shatter with your palm. So that's it's like instant kills. You can use Tempest Spell until you're able to get enough spirit for your frozen mandibles. That's what I was doing for the longest time. And Tempest Spell, I did like close combat, magnified area. That was the best effect. It was probably the best option. So yeah, instead of frozen mandibles, Tempest Spell, so you're able to do that. And then remember, whenever you weapon slot 2, Trinity is gonna be off because remember you've already attacked with your weapon slot 2, and so it's gonna stick over once you attack with the little bar. And then your everything's gonna be on your weapon 1 basically. You have to select it. But I always hop in. Let me open up the map real quickly. Freeze build up, truck charges, evasive accuracy. Let's just freeze build up. Alright, this is fine. Let's just YOLO it. Alright. Give these shaders a second. PoE 2 problems. What's cool about this though is whenever you load with your second weapon, your pet still decides to come out. Which is nice, it doesn't do that in the hideout. This is gonna be not good. See these guys, I kinda wanna reroll maps, this might slow things down. But we're gonna try it out. Yeah, this is a terrible showcase map. When I'm not one of those people not showcasing the map directly after the video, so. Alright, so. Yeah, it's just impossible to see. Okay, so you can just weapon swap, hop back in. See the top left bar? It basically increases your DPS. Yeah, this is the worst map to showcase this. As you can see, it just wipes all that. Alright. Yeah, this is an absolutely terrible map. But I'm gonna include it just because. There we go. There you go. Now you can see. This is what I was talking about here. This is that fun side of the build. Everything just dies. If only I could see. Door. Okay. Yeah, you basically attack and everything explodes into a little fire mountain. And it just it basically is flicker strike essentially. Except flicker strike 2.0 with the discharge mixed in almost. And then you can hold it down too. You don't have to, you can tap it if you want to teleport quicker. You can hold it down if you want your AoE of your herald to go around. Or sometimes it just takes you. It's kind of a little bit bipolar. But it's not as crazy to control like Flicker. It's a good thing. It's way easier and everything dies way quicker. This is probably my strongest build ever. And this is all handcrafted. This took me, it says 16 days of playtime. Long time. But yeah, that was the map. Well, let's go grab this over here. See, it's nice that you can just attack once, boom, area clears. Attack once, boom, area clears. Wow. Okay, game. Thank you. Wasn't expecting all of these. Yeah, I'll take this. Thank you. Okay. Just gonna grab this chest, and then we'll go over anything else. Let's get this chest relatively quickly. Ah, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh no. You love it whenever you miss these little guys. That's the one thing I hate about this. And rituals is these little guys who just hide around. Yeah, I can show you a depth. No buffs for the map, this will actually be it sped up. Alright, what I did there was I swapped my weapon. That way I got my buff up. I swapped with my hand shoe, just did an attack and then swapped back to another weapon. See, I'll do it one more time for you. It does help to have some mana. That way you get your lightning proc. And a big thing that you need with this build is a lot of accuracy. I'm sitting at 50%, and those 2 notes I took out for my pet that I just got, my companion, the Mandibles, it put me back to 50% when I was at 70. So that's another thing I gotta factor in some more is some more accuracy. But those 2 notes that's getting me 20 to 98 should mitigate that. It should go back to 75% where I was at. Yeah, and everything, you don't really have to even pay attention, and everything just dies around you. It's pretty nice. Alright, so anything else I'm missing with the build? I played around with a lot of the Shattering Palm skills and everything like that. It's really difficult to get it tuned right, but once you do, it's pretty nice. I've got, you know, everything synergized pretty well in the PoE Ninja. It should be on there. Everything has been tweaked and tuned and head bashed against the wall to get it all functioning perfectly to the point that I felt it was ready to publish a video. Again, this is pitting for for bosses, millions of DPS, it's enough to kill them in 1 or 2 shots. This thing is most fun I've ever had. Clear speed's insane. It's nice to have the companion too, if we get that going and stuff like that. It feels like I'm playing a PoE 1 build with all the explosions and stuff from the heralds and all that, combined with the shattering effect, the shattering palm and all that. That's fun. And then of course this thing is done a ton of damage, so it's like 1 million damage. The storm wave. That's fun. And ice thing, good for, you know, just doing act clearing or something like that. Doing something within the axe to go, like, you know, farm these guys, get different ones. What's cool is these mandibles, you can get different ones that are also really good. So you don't have to get one like mine, per se, that has the haste aura and all that. You can get one with lightning damage aura. You can get one with hinder aura. You can get one with elemental resistance buffs and stuff like that. You can get basically the lottery if you want. And then basically just try and level it up as much as you can for your, you know, your stats allow, basically. And then try and hit 23 quality with the Val if you can, because that plays a big part in its power. Level and power, its quality it scales exponentially with the 23% whenever you Val it if you hit that. So don't be shy getting a couple of good ones. I try and snatch up the level 9 skill gems before they rise in price and everything like that. But yeah, this is my Merc Shattering Palm Mandibles build. It's a piece of art I felt I created. My first time really going hands deep like this into a build, making it my true own. And I hope you guys appreciate it. If you have any questions, comment below. Thanks for watching. Thanks.